Troubleshooting an issue that was reported by one specific user can be quite tricky. With many employees now working from home, where do you even begin to narrow down the root cause of the problem? Is it the user's laptop or home Wi-Fi? Their ISP, some internet backbone nodes, or the application itself? The ZDX Users Dashboard helps you answer these questions and reduce the time it takes to close a support ticket. Let's take a tour of the dashboard and a user details page. To populate data in the user's dashboard, you first need to select one or more applications from the drop-down list. Here is a tip for you. When selecting multiple applications, the graph will then display aggregated metrics, which may show lower scores compared to choosing only one application. That's because ZDX shows the lowest score among all selected applications. Once you've selected an application, you can adjust and apply any additional filters. Below the filter section are several widgets that give an overview of your user's digital experience. Total active users show the number of users that are active for the selected time range. There is a percentage indicating how much the number of users has gone up or down over time, and the trend line below tracks how the number rose and fell during that time. Total active devices show similar information about the number of devices. Note, in this screen, the number of active users is different than the number of active devices. That's because ZDX can track more than one device per user. Also, looking at the trend lines, you may see a drop in the active users and device count towards the end of the trend line. That's because ZDX updates the widgets periodically in batches, which may slightly skew the displayed values. And the ZDX Score User Distribution widget shows how many users have a poor, okay, or good ZDX score over the selected time range. Remember that the ZDX score is based on a scale of 1 to 100. You can also look at the users list, which displays it to 100 users' ZDX scores for the poor, okay, and good categories. For each user, the list shows the ZDX score, the scores change over time, the Z-scalar location, the geographic location, as well as the device information. You can also download this list as a CSV file. There are clickable icons to view the user details or to start a deep tracing session. Let's have a closer look at the information provided on the user details page by selecting one of our users. The graphs and metrics in the user details page really help you drill down to the root cause of an issue. And remember, all these metrics are automatically collected by the client connector. There's nothing else to configure. At the top, you'll see the devices in use and specific device information, such as OS type, version, CPU, memory, private and public IP, and more. If there is more than one device, the first device in the list is automatically selected. Let's look at more device details. This window displays additional devices organized under the Hardware, Network, and Software tabs. For example, under the Network tab, you can review details about a user's Wi-Fi setup, including Wi-Fi type, SSID, and Wi-Fi channel. Also, the View User Software option displays the software inventory of the user with the name, version, and the status of the software. And on the top, the vendor distribution chart displays different software vendors. The View Software Patches option depicts the patch name, type, device, and the installation date of the patch. Next, there is a ZDX score overtime graph, which shows how the application's ZDX score changed over the selected period for this user and device. At the bottom of the graph, you have toggle options for smooth ZDX score and ZDX score. So what's the difference? Sometimes brief ups and downs in the ZDX score can make it difficult to cut through the noise and figure out what's really going on. That's where the default smooth ZDX score option comes in handy. Because it aggregates historical data to reuse short-term variations in the ZDX score and provides a clear picture of the overall trend. When you scroll down further, you'll see a section for web probe metrics with graphs for page fetch time, server response time, DNS resolve time, and availability. These graphs are shown by default, but you can use the menu on the right and deselect any of the graphs you're not interested in. As always, you can click a point on one graph and all other graphs will show their values for that same point in time. Let's keep scrolling down further to see the next set of graphs. At the top of the CloudPath section, there's a graph that shows either latency or packet loss for various segments of the data path between user and application. Below that, you'll see a hop view, which shows a graphical representation of the path from the user's device to the application's front door. Hop view is a great troubleshooting tool to quickly identify the source of packet loss or latency along the data path. And the command line view shows similar details in a table format. There was a lot more to explore here, So let's take a closer look at Hot View and Command Line View in a separate demo. For now, let's scroll down further and have a look at the Device Health section. The graphs in this section are based on metrics that Client Connector collects on the end user device. There's a set of common graphs for things like CPU, memory, and disk usage. And depending on the device the user was on at the time, additional metrics may be available. For example, for a Windows laptop, you'll see graphs for Wi-Fi signal strength, Wi-Fi network adapters, and battery usage. Of course, you can customize which graphs you want to see and click on any graph point to correlate a change in one graph with all others. And finally, there is the User Device Events section, which tracks changes for the device, like restarts or changes in network activity. These events are displayed in categories for Zscaler hardware, software, and network-related events. Note that device attribute changes are tracked every 5 minutes. So if an attribute changed and then reverted within the 5 minutes, that change would not be displayed in this section. To recap, the user's dashboard and user details page are full of information that help you decide if a user-reported issue was caused by the application, a network problem, or the user's device.